It's the Full Court Press with Eric Frandsen and Jason Walker.
Welcome back to the to the show that we're doing right now.
Following the local teams, breaking down the biggest games with in-depth analysis and team interview. Join the show by calling into 435-752-1069 or text 435-339-0321. It's the Full Court Press.
Throws, answer, yes! Caught! Touchdown! They did it!
Good afternoon, everybody. Eric Frandsen, Jason Walker here on the Full Court Press. 106.9 FM, 1390 AM, streaming on 1069thefan.com. Also on the 1069 The Fan mobile app. Lots of different ways to listen, to follow along, to be a part of the show. And always love to get your feedback on the Young Power Sports of Logan text line. And that's 435-339-0321. Last hour, it was exclusively talking about Utah State men's basketball and their win over Weber State.
How the sky is falling.
Coach Calhoun was not very happy. Some of the fans not very happy. But the Aggies win by 10 points. And they won despite several things not going well for the team. So they found some ways to win and overcame a key player getting hurt and able to find a way around that. So Aggies now will shift their attention to UTEP, who they will face on Saturday, and we'll get into more of the UTEP preview tomorrow. We'll have Coach Calhoun audio to share with you. But this hour, a lot of other things to get through. Some big news today from the Pac-12 as they have announced another media partner in the mix to carry Pac-12 sporting events. So in addition to CBS Sports and the CW, the Pac-12 announced today that USA Sports will be carrying a lot of men's and women's basketball games. They will be the exclusive home for the conference tournament, excluding the championship game, which will be on CBS.
Pretty big deal. It's like home of the conference tournament, except for the big one.
Yeah. But you know what? That's okay. CBS is a great partner.
Yeah, it's like
for the conference title game.
Yeah, it's good for you have a really good setup for the conference there where you know, you've got games on a widely televised network, and I think a lot of people are a little hesitant, at least maybe initially. Some people. You kind of have two groups here, but you have those that are hesitant because it's not ESPN or Fox or whatnot, where it's like you want to be on these big TV providers. And I 100% get that because that's where all the big money is. And there's a sign
that's where naturally a lot of eyeballs are too.
Yeah, and a lot of people go to those places to watch their college football. It's on the, you know, if they're just sitting there on a Saturday being like, I want to watch some college football, they're flipping between Fox and ESPN and FS1 and CBS and all that, and they're finding their run of games. But the thing is, all those same people flipping between those games, they will have the, you know, USA Sports and CW and all these different channels. They will be there. And just as importantly, for all the fans, they all have these networks. And so they will be able to easily watch basically every single game of their favorite team and of other teams in the conference. And so you're seeing the Pac-12 prioritize, you know, getting people to watch the games. Say, hey, look, we're not going to take some money to go hide behind some streaming service and say, well, you got to buy Apple Plus or, you know, Peacock or this or that. They want to be able to say, hey, look, if you want to watch this game, it's free, you know, relative to what you would normally have already because you already have this channel.
Well, yeah, they're leaning in on linear television, as it's more commonly referred to now, and CBS Sports, the CW, USA Network, which used to be part of the NBC Universal package, but that's now been separated out. It's a different group that owns that network. More commonly referred to as USA Network, but they're leaning in on USA Sports. It's home to a lot of professional wrestling right now, but they want to do
also
more.
NASCAR.
Yeah, they do NASCAR. They want to do more live sports. And because we're seeing a lot of these networks, that's how they are establishing more and more of their value in live sporting events, because people don't time shift. They don't just watch shows when it's convenient to them. Live sporting events are still appointment watching and appointment listening. And so they will still find those games that they're interested in. Now, you are right that for those who are just casual observers of college football or college basketball, they're probably going between 3 channels: FS1, ESPN, and CBS Sports. Those are the bulk of what's happening with college sports. But we're seeing more of these other players starting to emerge. And the CW not only has games already associated with the Pac-12, they're also the home of the ACC. A lot of ACC games happening on the CW. And now USA Sports is leaning into this as well. And with this, 100% of all of the Pac-12 football schedule will be on what they're calling, the Pac-12 is calling, maximum reach TV channels.
Yeah.
That maybe is a little bit of a fudge on the term there, but they are on TV channels that are widely available. You don't have to subscribe to some online service like Amazon or Apple TV. They're widely available on a variety of different cable providers, whether it's traditional cable or Fubo or YouTube TV. You can find these channels.
Yeah, and this is the example I'm about to give is maybe a bit of a small slice, but it's a bunch of similar situations that can play out, because if you're someone like me who I don't live, breathe, and die college football, looking over the entire schedule and scheduling out my entire Saturday around which games I'm going to watch. I'm, scanning social media and hang out on a Saturday, especially if it's a bye week for Utah State where I'm not covering a game, but maybe even before or after a Utah State game. I'll be maybe going through a couple of channels or scanning social media, and you see people talking about this one game where it's like, it's, really tight in the fourth quarter, get to such and such channel. I'm like, well, and I'm the kind of person that's susceptible to that because I like to watch good games. So I pick up the remote and I look for that game. And sometimes it's like, well, I don't have that channel. I don't have that streaming service. That's happened to me with U.S. women's soccer. Get to watch this game. I was like, well, I don't have that. So I can't watch them. And if you have that, like if because there are a lot of college football junkies who are like, hey, Utah State and UNLV are locked in this super high. It's 45-45 with 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Get to such and such. And like, if it's on like ESPN Plus or something like that, or some, Peacock or whatnot, it's like, okay, well, a bunch of people don't have that. Or if it's on Max, and it's like, how many people have that?
Yeah.
There's a bunch of people who would be like me who are, I want to go watch that. But they can't because they don't subscribe to every single streaming service. But if it's get to USA Network, it's like, well, do I have that? Oh, yeah, I do. Let's watch it. And suddenly, you're driving up the rankings, even if by a little bit. And that's kind of a super niche scenario. But like, it's, if people are, another thing that I do is I'll look at the scoreboard and see which games are good. And if one of them's good, I go find the game on, I've got Hulu. So Hulu with live sports. So I go find it. And there's going to be a lot of people who will search out games that way. It's not going to get you millions of TV views, but it's going to add a few thousand or more. And you're trying to add as many different types of, ways fans like to watch the games. You can all, at the very least, the thing that's not going to keep them from watching the game isn't going to be whether or not they have it. Anyone across the country who has put in any kind of effort to be able to watch live sports will be able to watch Pac-12 games. Is it going to immediately lead to more eyeballs? No, but you're removing that barrier. So anyone who wants to watch, fan, casual, whatever. And that's what the Pac-12 is banking on. You can agree with it or disagree with it, because one interesting thing is that there are some leagues that are leaning into, they're trying to go for the biggest money. Like you look at F1, what they recently did with Apple TV, the exclusivity with the U.S. broadcasting rights. There's some who, F1's getting a ton of money, so there's the positive there, but there are others who are criticizing them for like, okay, but you're potentially limiting the people. Like, I'm not going to watch any F1 now because I don't have Apple TV.
Well, this is part of the demise of the Pac-12 originally, is that they were trying to chase dollars, and they placed that as a priority over exposure at a time where there was conference realignment in the college football playoff, and getting as many eyeballs to see what your product is. That kind of blew a lot of those things up. And over this newly redesigned Pac-12, this is something that we've been monitoring from afar. What will they prioritize? Will they, again, just try to chase dollars, just try to get the best financial deal out of a media rights partner? Or will they try to prioritize eyeballs? And it's clear that with this package, they're prioritizing eyeballs. They're trying to make sure that they are on easy-to-find networks for their member institutions, because in 5 years, there's going to be a total reshuffling of the deck. And so they want to make sure that their member institutions have the best profile potential that they can come up with. And these, CBS and the CW, those are free over-the-air channels all across the entire United States. And then CBS Sports Network, USA Network, those are available on over-the-top streaming or on satellite or on cable. They're all easily available and easy to find. You don't have to subscribe to something to have another subscription service to find these.
Yeah, because
they're easy to find and locate and watch.
Yeah, because you probably already have them through because again, most people are subscribed to something. If you are a sports fan, you will have already subscribed to what is necessary to watch Pac-12 games. And so the ultimate downside of all this is that the Pac-12 is clearly going to get less money. Like, I don't think fans are going to be happy with the money number. Like, that's something that does need to be said. Like, there are no reports on what money is coming into the Pac-12 and to each of these schools from this TV deal.
Well, the word is that athletic directors have been forced to sign a non-disclosure agreement to keep the lid on what these media rights actually look like.
Yeah, and so that's not a good sign for the money, and that's something that I'm not going to try and puff that up, because it's not going to be what the Pac-12 is promising, like the $15 million a year. It's not going to be that, and this is also kind of why like teams like Memphis and even to a degree UNLV were balking at the Pac-12. Is they were promising more than what they're about to deliver. But the positive side of it is you're giving teams the potential to kind of earn that, where it's like, hey, in 5 or so years, look at these TV numbers. People have been able to watch, and people have tuned in to watch. They've tuned in to watch Utah State Gonzaga play. They've tuned in to watch Boise State and San Diego State play in football. And that's the kind of thing that they're kind of banking on, is they're saying, hey, look, we may not be able to, we're going to chase the exposure over the dollars in hopes that the dollars will be there down the line. And it's a gamble. And the Pac-12 has been pretty bad at math before, so there's some room for worry. But it's not like the sky is falling with the Pac-12, because the conference is set up to take control of its own destiny as the best in the West Conference. And it's setting itself up to be able to do that. Will it do it? We hope so, for Utah State's sake.
Yeah.
So they just need to seize the moment, and they are setting at least some kind of foundation to do just that.
So a couple other things with this announcement today. I've kind of already mentioned this, but for men's basketball, USA Network will be the exclusive home for the men's tournament. The championship game will be on CBS, but they're saying about 70%, over 70% of men's games will be on these networks. And for women's basketball, they will be featured on the CW and on USA Network. So there's a lot of women's games. Their tournament, semifinals, and championship game will be on the CW. And so one of the other big points here is that when the conference schedule is put together in the summer or in the spring, whatever, when it's officially released for football, the times will be set. You will know, and if it's a conference game, when you're going to play Oregon State on the second weekend of November, that's going to be your kick time. They're not going to flex it. It's not going to be a mystery until a few weeks before. They're going to announce it, lay it out, and that's what it's going to be for the season.
No more time subject to change.
Right.
Which is nice. That's nice. And hopefully you can also ensure that most of these games are going to be played at good time slots. Maybe get yourself a nice afternoon time slot for football games, especially late in the season when you kind of want to play the game earlier in the day so you don't turn into an icicle in the stands by the end. So, yeah, we'll see if they can get some good time slots since they're, with being on CBS Sports Network and Fox, they have to get shoved into the in-ideal time slots because all those TV stations are prioritizing all their Big Ten teams and SEC teams and all that.
Yeah. So, and of course, Pac-12 Enterprises, that's they produce a lot of games.
Yeah, essentially, they're basically
that's been
going
a real
to,
big asset for the Pac-12.
They're essentially going to produce all of these games. Like they're basically going to use their infrastructure to broadcast, and it's just going to be on the channel of USA Sports and all that. So that seems basically allow them to remove a big expense for a lot of these networks. I don't know what negotiations they've done to compensate the Pac-12 for offering that service to them and whatnot. But that's, something that's really helped them to end up on linear television where they can be like, hey, we've got all this infrastructure. You don't have to put in this big investment to get all the sports equipment and broadcasters and all that. It's like, we've got it all for you. Just step in. We'll negotiate, back and forth how to make this work, and we'll put it on your channel, and you'll get viewers because live TV with sports brings viewers.
Yes.
And not reruns of Cops and Criminal Minds.
Yeah, that's true. So, that's so exciting news. And that really should round things out for the Pac-12 with their media partnerships moving forward. And now it's up to those member institutions to show well on when they are on national TV to produce a good product. And certainly for basketball, a lot of excitement with Gonzaga coming into the mix and how they're going to elevate things with the basketball product for both men's and women's basketball.
Yeah, and that's like where it's like you look at the Pac-12. I know some people might try to clown on this TV deal, and I don't think there's really room for that. But the Pac-12 is well positioned as a conference going forward. Is it in the most ideal situation? No. But it is in a good situation. You have good football teams. You have pretty good basketball teams. You have one of the best, basketball teams in the country. And you also got San Diego State and Utah State and some, other pretty good
basketball
majors like
history.
Boise and Colorado State that, you have good basketball history. Some have elite basketball history. So you're going to have teams that people want to watch aside from just the baked-in fan base that you have. So the Pac-12 is again well positioned going forward. One text, or the 935 had two texts, I think, or like three texts. I think four actually. There's one I don't think we read this where they say, why did they not celebrate the 1,000 point made at the game last night for Drake? It's because they noted it.
They
on
mentioned it after.
They mentioned it on social media afterward.
I can't recall other times when a player has been celebrated for hitting 1,000 points in the middle of a game.
Yeah, I don't know if they've done it in the middle of the game. A lot of times they've done it. They'll just have a moment like.
The only time I remember recognizing a player for a certain point situation is when they set a record.
No, they've done it for 1,000 points because they did it for Ian Martinez, I'm pretty sure, and I think Darius Brown too.
Did they?
Where like it's usually like I don't like if I remember right, they didn't really do it during the game. They it was like the next game. They said, it's the next home game. They might. So they might.
It's part of like the introductions or something.
Yeah,
congratulations
just like before the game. They might, or maybe like quarter break or something, or actually it'd probably be before the game. But like they might have Drake Allen come out and they'll hand him like a one of those blue and white basketballs and maybe a plaque or something.
Let's say 1,000 on it.
Yeah, something like that. That might be what they do.
But yeah, they don't do that in the course of the middle of the game.
Yeah, if somebody sets the when Sam Merrill hit 2,000 points, they did that I know
they did something when J.C. Carroll did something, but generally
he set the career record.
Yeah, but generally in the course of a game, it's not really mentioned.
Yeah, it has to be a big deal.
Right.
1,000 career points is something that a decent number of good players do.
Yeah, it's a nice accomplishment, but it's not like, oh my gosh, we need to make sure we stop everything and recognize this.
Yeah. A few more texts. See, do we know how much money is there for No Mini Deal? They have all the partners, or still just not told? Yeah, nobody's saying anything, which, again, as I was saying earlier, not the greatest sign for what that dollar number is going to be. It's not going to be horrible. It's going to be more than the Mountain West, what the Aggies get in the Mountain West, but not the $15 million that was getting promised.
Yeah, it's an upgrade from what they were receiving, but maybe not quite what some prognostications had out there for what they could get.
Yeah. Also, the good thing is that I don't have to think very hard, and all these TV networks pop in my head compared to things like Urban Edge Networks or Apple TV. One of the funnier things I saw today was somebody saying, like, Mountain West is going to announce a TV partnership with the Urban Edge Network. And then 9-5 also saying, Jason, you were so close. Good thing 1 cent away from $14 million is still really good. Just kidding. Yeah, it's not going to be 1 cent away from $15 million. It's going to be more like $7 million away from $15 million.
Then 6726, is it just me or is the PA system in the Spectrum horrible and getting worse? Can't we fix this?
Apparently, I guess it's easy to hear on floor level, but it must be horrible away from that, because I can usually hear the PA. Of course, I'm not always paying attention to the PA guy. So, yeah, but all the feedback I ever hear about the sound system in the Spectrum is that it's awful. So they probably should work on that, because that's part of the fan experience. They get people at the game, is if they have a bad experience, then they can't hear what the PA guy is saying.
Yeah,
then
makes it rough.
And it's like, yeah, which player just came in, and what's the call on the floor, like, that kind of stuff that makes your experience, like, it doesn't ruin it, but it makes it slightly worse. You want to get rid of those.
Yeah. Another text coming through, but we're going to hold that thought, 8739. We'll get to your text in question. Well, actually, it's an observation and letting us know about an interesting stat, because it's going to lead our topic in the next segment. So stay tuned. We'll preview and look at what's going on in high school football playoffs. Ridgeline and Provo face each other tonight in Rice-Eccles Stadium. Pregame for that in about 30 minutes from now. So we'll look at that matchup in the 4A semifinals coming up next here on the Full Court Press.
When the snow starts flying, be sure your tires are ready. At Express Tire, they work with all vehicles and all tire sizes with safety and comfort a priority. As a Point S Tire team member, you're backed by a nationwide warranty that includes roadside protection. No appointment needed. Just stop in and they'll get your tires winter ready. 3200 North Main.
Express Tire. Tires for less.
Express Auto, where tires and service come together.
Looking for a luxurious local space to host your next gathering? The Hive Event Center in downtown Logan brings modern elegance to your wedding, private party, or business event. Your guests will be amazed at the glamorous design, and you'll benefit from the advanced tech included in every rental, from DIY parties to full-service packages. 255 South Main in Logan behind Beehive Grill. Luxury lives here. The Hive is your place to gather.
Luxury lives here. Luxury lives here. The Hive.
See us online at thehivelogan.com.
If you're thinking about getting engaged this holiday season, S.E. Needham Jewelers is the place to shop for your diamond engagement ring. S.E. Needham's has the largest selection of wedding rings in the area, including hundreds of styles in platinum, white gold, and yellow gold. We import diamonds direct from Antwerp, Belgium, which enables us to guarantee the best price on diamonds. We also offer the most complete warranty and services of any store in the state. Monday through Saturday, 10 to 7, where Utah gets engaged. S.E. Needham Jewelers, middle of the block, at the sign of the clock.
Need a great deal near USU? Mention Aggie 79 and score a room at the Baum Motel for just $79. Enjoy charming, homey hospitality in downtown Logan. You'll love the clean, spacious rooms and friendly, attentive staff. Take advantage of free breakfast, free Wi-Fi, and a seasonal outdoor pool. At that price, it can't be beat. $79 rooms with Aggie 79 at the Baum Motel. Value every day of the week. Call 435-752-5220. That's 752-5220.
It's that first kiss, that moment in time.
This is Jarek from Jarek's Fine Jewelry. Everyone knows us as an engagement ring store, but not everyone knows about everything else we do. Custom design, our in-house laser jewelry repair. We offer fashion jewelry, charm bracelets, necklaces, earrings, birthstone jewelry, watches. We love people to just look and make a wish list. Stop in and say hi.
Jarek's Fine Jewelry. Make it special. Make it Jarek's.
The Aggies are number one here. The Full Court Press. Connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, and online at 1069thefan.com.
From residential tune-ups to commercial HVAC projects, Mountain Valley Heating and Air Conditioning has you covered with highly trained and experienced technicians. Call 435-557-4181 or visit their website, mtnvalleyhvac.com, and start saving while you feel the love.
So, fun fact, in Utah State's basketball account was posting about this earlier. Stu Morrill was in Logan today.
Oh.
He was in the Spectrum. Coach Calhoun was late to his press conference because he was talking with Stu.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so
love Coach Morrill.
And did a little photo shoot there. But yeah, he's living over in Colorado these days, isn't he?
Yep.
But he made his way over to Logan to talk with the team, and also met with Cam Walker.
Very cool. Good for Coach Morrill.
And good for the
Always
team.
good to have him around, and good for the team they play on a court that bears his name, and it's good to know why.
Yeah.
And meet him and shares. He's a great storyteller, and
maybe he can fire him up.
Run of success. Yes, that's right.
I've heard Stu could be a little prickly at times.
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes that'll fire up a team.
Yes. Getting to the Young Power Sports of Logan text line, 8739 sent this in. Stats on Green Canyon Crimson Cliffs rivalry. Crimson Cliffs has been a school for 7 years. Green Canyon has played them 6 times, including Friday's game. 2 at Green Canyon, 2 at Crimson Cliffs, and 2 in Rice Eccles. Green Canyon is 1 win and 4 losses so far.
Yeah, so that's there's your stat that blew my mind. I don't know if it blew your mind, but there's a good stat there.
Yeah, very good.
8739.
Yeah, interesting stuff there. Yeah, those 2 schools will square off tomorrow, but tonight it's Ridgeline and Provo. Ridgeline number 1, Provo number 5 in the standings. Provo is a team coming into this postseason, into the 4A semifinals, who went 8-4 overall. They went undefeated in region play, and Ridgeline has been a team that's been undefeated through the season overall, and they have just been a wagon. Just destroying their opponents offensively, limiting them defensively. So the question is, can Provo slow them down? A few common opponents. Provo beat Green Canyon earlier in the year, 27-14. But we saw what, Ridgeline, they took care of Green Canyon 49-14. But this is a Provo team that's had some games where they've scored a lot of points. They put up 49 against Salem Hills, 61 against Timpanogos, but they've also had a number of games where it's been kind of tight and kind of close. But this is generally a pretty high-powered offense. 69 points against Mountain View, 45 again against Salem Hills. They put up 64 against Uinta. So this is a team that has that potential to score a lot of points. But defensively, they've had a number of games where they've only allowed their opponents to score once. So this will be an interesting matchup for the Riverhawks and the Bulldogs tonight at Rice Eccles. Dave Simmons and Lance Campbell will be on the call, and you can hear it on 104.5 The Ranch in Cache County. You can also go to CacheValleyDaily.com and listen live there as well.
Yeah, and I think it could be interesting for how Provo's defense has played, especially of late, where they're averaging single-digit scoring for opponents in their last about 5 games, including against a couple of decent teams. But Ridgeline has just been in a class of its own, where it's just Provo's beaten good teams and been close against good teams. Ridgeline's blown out good teams. And that's kind of the difference there, where you look at the common opponents that you pointed out. Provo's close, winning those games. Ridgeline, they're blowing them the heck out. And that doesn't mean that it's inevitable that Ridgeline's going to win. At this point in the year, last year, I thought Ridgeline was going to win the title running away. What do? They lost in the semifinals. So don't go to the bank with it just yet, but it's hard for me to pick anybody else to win this game aside from Ridgeline.
Yeah, I mean, Provo, to their credit, the last round in the quarterfinals, they went to Hurricane. Hurricane was the higher seeded team, and Provo won on the road, which is not easy to do. Hurricanes had a pretty solid season, but Provo won that one 28-13. But ultimately, yeah, this is the Ridgeline revenge tour. This is a team that felt like they should have been in the title game last year. They got bounced in the semifinals, and they've been playing mad most of the year because they want to. They feel like they're a better team than where they ended up last year. So a big showdown tonight in Rice Eccles. Again, 5:50 is when the pregame will start on our sister station, 104.5 The Ranch, with the kickoff scheduled at 6 o'clock down there in Salt Lake City. So then tomorrow it'll be a similar story for Green Canyon, at least kick time. Bigger challenge for the Wolves, but last few weeks the Wolves have been the underdogs, and to pulled off upsets, can they make it 3 in a row, taking on number 2 Crimson Cliffs? And we'll get into more of that tomorrow, but certainly Green Canyon has the taller order ahead of them as the 14 seed taking on the number 2 seed.
Yeah, Green Canyon's already beaten the odds, so this is, when I talk about Ridgeline being the odds-on favorite to win there, Green Canyon's been the odds-on favorite to lose in most of their playoff games this year, and they refuse to do so. And Green Canyon's made these runs in football before. This isn't the first time they've had an unexpected run in football. They are a team that seems to be built for the playoffs. So it's, are they going to continue the Cinderella story all the way to the championship game? That'll be fun to see. It's nice when you get these, because I hate how predictable high school sports can be sometimes, especially in football. So it's really good to see the unexpected happen, because it adds flavor to what is usually wonderful high school sports.
Crimson Cliffs only one loss on the year, and that happened on the very first week for them when they were at Lone Peak. And Lone Peak's a solid football program in its own right. But since then, they have won every game that they've played. They've had some close ones in there. It's not like they're totally blowing away the competition like Ridgeline has been. There have been quite a few close contests, a number of them decided by one possession. But this is a good Crimson Cliffs team that Green Canyon's going to have to try to slow down, do something that really not very many other teams have figured out just yet. But Green Canyon has defied these odds before. But funny how these teams always seem to find a way to play each other in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's all a good team. So
yes, that will inevitably happen. If you're a good team, you're going to play other good teams in November. Let's do this. Let's take another quick timeout here on the Full Court Press. By the way, that Green Canyon game tomorrow, Stockton Jukes and Jacob Pitcher, they'll be down at Rice Eccles calling that game on 100.9 Light FM, with ways to also listen online on Cache Valley Daily. Audio-only broadcasts for us when we get to this stage in the playoffs, but still ways for you to follow along. Bring your radio along if you're in the car, or pull it up on your Cache Valley Daily app or online, and you can still listen and hear how our local guys call these contests. So Ridgeline, Provo tonight, Green Canyon, Crimson Cliffs tomorrow. Quick timeout here in the Full Court Press. When we come back, some interesting scheduling changes going on for Real Salt Lake and Major League Soccer. Do you like these changes? Are you getting excited about going to watch soccer in the snow? Because that's what's coming. We'll discuss next on the Full Court Press.
Winter's here, and that old car sitting in your driveway isn't getting any warmer. Turn that frozen junker into cold, hard cash with DD Auto and Salvage in Logan. It's never too cold, too wet, or too late to clean up and cash out. DD Auto and Salvage makes it quick and easy. They'll even pick it up for you. Get the most money possible for your junk vehicle or scrap metal, and earn a little extra holiday cash while you're at it. Call 787-1204. That's 787-1204. And let DD Auto and Salvage pay you today. DD Auto and Salvage. Cold cars turned into hot cash.
Advanced Heating and Air Conditioning and Advanced Fireplace and Stove want to help local families this year with a food drive. Drop your canned foods off at the Advanced Fireplace and Stove showroom across from DI, or hand them to one of their technicians when they come to your home for a repair. The Advanced team will match all contributions and offer the first month free when joining the Advanced Comfort Club. Find out more at advancedheating-ac.com. Donate to the Advanced Canned Food Drive for local families.
Ski season is coming, which means Season Ski Rentals. This is Mark at the Sportsman, where we have over 20 years of season ski rental experience. We rent to kids and adults. Come in to get season ski rentals for your entire family. We like to wait a little later in the fall because there is a chance your kids might grow out of their boots by the time ski season actually rolls around. You will get the right gear for your kids to ski this year at the Sportsman on Main Street in downtown Logan, with tons of parking in the back.
Thank you for letting Cache Valley Ear, Nose, and Throat, the Allergy Clinic, and the Hearing Aid Center care for your family this year. Be sure to call us for an appointment before the end of the year to make the most of your cafeteria or flex funds. Located in Providence and North Logan, Cache Valley ENT also has offices in Box Elder, Rich, Bear Lake, and Franklin counties. The entire team at Cache Valley Ear, Nose, and Throat wish you and your family a healthy holiday season. Go to CacheValleyENT.com for details. Most insurance plans, including Select Health, are accepted.
Old McDarrell has a farm and appliance farm
with down-home country prices and big city selection.
E-I-E-I-O. When you're looking for a friendly spot to drive a little and save a lot, hey, Old McDarrell has a farm, an appliance farm. Darrell's Appliance. Low overhead, but lots of country charm. See Darrell's Appliance in beautiful downtown Benson.
Interviews, analysis, and a little bit of fun mixed in. The Full Court Press on Sports Talk Radio, 106.9 FM, 1390 AM. The Fan.
The Logan Holiday Gift Show, now in its 16th year, is coming up tomorrow and Saturday at the Riverwoods Conference Center. The show has grown every year. There's a lot of new vendors and attendees. A great opportunity for local vendors to show off their products and their services, getting you ready for the holidays. It's going to be at the Riverwoods Conference Center, both Friday and Saturday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Cost, it's really inexpensive. Ages 13 and up, only $2. Ages 12 and under get in free. And guess what? Santa will be there both Friday and Saturday from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. each day. It's a Logan Holiday Gift Show Friday and Saturday at the Riverwoods Conference Center. And I know Jason is going to be excited to be there. He's so excited about Christmas already. He loves hearing the Christmas music on one of our radio stations. And he's gearing up for the Christmas Holiday Gift Show this weekend as well.
I am trying to be as well regarded here someday as Al Lewis is, for the sole hope that I'll have enough pull within the company to make Christmas music start in December.
It's not going to happen.
A man can dream. A man can dream. Hey, some news from Major League Soccer. They have voted, the owners have officially voted to change their calendar, fundamentally change their calendar. Instead of going from the spring through the summer and then concluding in the fall, they're totally flipping that. And so the calendar will begin in mid-July and roll through May. So we're going to be seeing soccer played in the United States in the coldest months of the year. Yeah, and I'm not as well versed in this as I should be to really be having any strong opinion. And there's a lot of this just because you're trying to match up with the European calendar, and there's a whole lot of crap with transfers, between leagues and all that, because the transfer market in soccer is this massive mess of, because there's a bajillion leagues that are all transferring players between each other, and most of the world functions on a completely different calendar. And that makes it really hard to bring players over to MLS. Like, there's a whole lot of hoops you got to jump through, and you might not get a player right away, and you might have to wait. There's a whole bunch of stuff that that makes there be a big desire to want to have a calendar that matches up with the rest of the world, with Europe primarily, because that's where the kind of the hub of soccer is. That's where all the best leagues and the best clubs are. But the issue is that the U.S. has, as far as I know, like a lot of these other places like Central, South America, a lot of Europe, like sure they have snow, but like, do they have it the same way Canada does? Weirdly enough, England's on a similar latitude to some of the northern states, but they just with the way
being on the coast, it's more mild, it's more temperate.
Just with the way that I'm searching for the word ecology, that's not the right word, but
geography, just
all this different stuff. The environment, it doesn't produce the same kind of absurdly cold. It's apparently foggy all the time, but you can handle that.
Now,
you can mostly play soccer, but.
With this announcement, they will take a winter break with this schedule. So they will not schedule games in December or January. So they'll take 2 months off during the dead of winter. But for Real Salt Lake, if you're playing a game in February, it's still going to dump a foot of snow on you. There's still a possibility that you're going to get snowed on.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of snow games, especially for the Northern, because Utah's one thing, but you got teams in Minnesota and a bunch of them in Canada,
Colorado.
Got one in New England. Like, you've got teams that are going to be dealing with snow for a large chunk of the season, and a lot of cold weather, like, butt crack of winter cold. Like, it is not fun to be sitting through these games when it's freezing outside. The players aren't going to enjoy it. The fans aren't going to enjoy it. And I don't know if the owners definitely thought about this. And some of the owners even have objections. Like some of the owners of, Canadian teams and whatnot have placed their objections. But I don't think that they really value how much of a hit that's going to have. And on top of that, the thing that I don't think they fully appreciate is that they are going to end up competing with all of the sports that they haven't had to compete with for a while. People would watch MLS games because that's the sports that's on. And you have people who are soccer fans like me that are willing to watch MLS when it's on because a lot of their other sports. But when I'm in, November, and there's an MLS game on, but there's also college football or NFL or NBA, guess which one I'm not watching? MLS. And so there's going to be a lot of, maybe they're banking on their diehard MLS fans. They'll still watch the game.
Right.
But people like me.
They're trying to grow the sport?
Yeah. People like me who have a lot of different sports they like to watch, I have a priority list. And it tends to be led by football and basketball, either college or pro. And then you've got like baseball and hockey, and MLS goes pretty far down that list. Even though I love soccer. I love watching soccer. But I have my priority list, and mine is probably very similar to most Americans, where even if they've grown up liking soccer and it is a growing sport, it is still toward the bottom of that priority list.
But here's the thing, like their current schedule during the regular season, they're playing in a bit of a vacuum. There's no or little NBA because the playoffs are going to go until June. But there's no NFL. You got Major League Baseball that you're going side by side. Hockey is, that concludes. So the real meat of your schedule, it's either MLS or Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
But now with this shift, before I do that, so with Major League Soccer right now, though, when they get into their playoffs, which arguably should be their biggest opportunity for audience, that audience has now shifted. They're now watching college football. They're watching the NFL, the start of the NBA.
Yeah, but you might
get Major League Baseball World Series.
But you might get a few people clinging to it because, it's the playoffs and the championship. So you'll get some people that are still kind of dragged to it because, these are the big games.
They've been invested throughout the summer.
Yeah. And it's like just barely the start. So maybe you miss, you may not watch all of the early games of the NFL and NBA and all that. So you're willing to hang on to the MLS. A lot of these fans who follow the MLS throughout the season, they finish up with that, and then they transition. Like, that's going to be different now. It's the calendar is going to shift now.
Right, and so their playoffs are going to be in April and May.
And what's happening in April and May? A lot of NHL and NBA,
the NBA
March
playoffs
Madness,
are beginning. Right, so your playoffs are on top of other playoffs.
Bigger playoffs than the MLS.
Yeah.
Like the time of year where people get hooked into, for me, I'm watching NHL and NBA every night from April to June. And, then there's March Madness at the, when the MLS season will be coming to its, coming to a head at the end of the regular season, all that, March Madness. People are going to stop watching MLS. They're going to be focused on college basketball, then NHL, NBA. So like there must be something I'm just completely not understanding about the MLS's strategy here. It has to go beyond just things with transfer markets, because to potentially give up market, to directly compete with the NFL and NBA and NHL and March Madness and all that, like there has to be something that I'm missing.
Well, this is clearly like we're conceding that we're not going to compete head to head with a lot of these other American sports. So let's just try to get more in line with what else happens internationally with our sport. So the trade markets,
but
keeping a window open for FIFA in the middle of summer, so it's not right on top of what you're already trying to do, messing up your rosters when players leave to go play for their countries.
Not a whole lot of MLS players playing in World Cup anyway, though.
No, not a lot, but I mean, it does run right on top of each other. So it's almost like we're waving a small white flag for some things while trying to be more in line with what the rest of high-level organized soccer is already doing.
Yeah, and I get there is a lot of value to that, because there becomes an ease to getting players over here, and that's something that can grow the sport, because getting players is important for growing your, getting some of the best players you can. So there's value in that. But will that growth be better long-term versus... Like, are you going to lose fans who just aren't going to show up to the games anymore because, again, it's freezing cold outside and you got a foot of snow outside? Is in a bunch of fans who used to want would watch MLS, even go to MLS games because that's the part of the sports calendar that we're at. You go to MLS games. Because I went to several MLS games this year. I'll basically never go to another Real Salt Lake game again, probably, because I'm going to be in the middle of basketball season and football season. I won't have time because I've got all these other things that I've got to do. It's like right? I might not make it to an RSL game for another 10, 15 years.
That's been the nice thing about with the schedule that they had is like there weren't a lot of other things competing. Like it made it easy to go down and run down there because it's not like I've got other things like, well, you want to go watch a live game? I'm either going to go watch the Bees or Real Salt Lake.
I'm not going to go watch the Bees because I wouldn't watch them anyway, even though they're the only thing happening, because it costs $100 for a ticket.
Well,
so I can watch crappy baseball.
Helps clear the way a little bit more for MLB expansion. I don't know.
But maybe that's why the Millers, they probably voted for it. So people will go to the Bees games and pay their exorbitant prices. They can pay off their
the
useless...
Millers are now the lead owners there for Real Salt Lake.
Yeah, they're trying to pay off their useless new stadium for the Bees. You can tell I'm passionate about this.
Let's go to the Young Power Sports of Logan text line before we hit a timeout. 9315. How to watch the UNLV game on Saturday?
CBS Sports Network, isn't it?
Let me see. Double checking on that. I believe that's the case. Utah State.
We're both scrolling.
CBS Sports Network. Yes.
See, my memory has not yet failed me.
So the basketball game against UTEP at 2 will be on KMYU, and
Still
then
got Dave Fox and Gary Wilkinson on the call. Not as many people are happy about that one. Apparently, there was a girl behind him who was really loud.
But then the football game at 5. On CBS Sports Network for Utah State at UNLV. Let's take a quick timeout here in the Full Court Press. If you want to weigh in, I'll always love to hear from you. 435-339-0321. It's been a minute since we've done Pick 6. and even received Pick 6 results from the last time we did it. So we'll reveal the results before we reveal how we think things will play out this upcoming weekend. Invite you to play along as well. Coming up next on the Full Court Press.
Advanced Heating and Air Conditioning and Advanced Fireplace and Stove want to help local families this year with a food drive. Drop your canned foods off at the Advanced Fireplace and Stove showroom across from DI or hand them to one of their technicians when they come to your home for a repair. The Advanced team will match all contributions and offer the first month free when joining the Advanced Comfort Club. Find out more at advancedheating-ac.com. Donate to the Advanced Canned Food Drive for local families.
Looking for a shed that's built to last? At Top Shed, we're making sheds great again. Crafted with premium materials right here in northern Utah, our custom sheds are built strong for the toughest conditions, and will even come built on-site in towns like Logan, Tremont, and Preston, Malad. With late summer and fall here, now is the perfect time to get your shed designed, built, and delivered for year-round use. Top Shed, making sheds great again. Call 435-760-7766 or visit topshedusa.com.
For 80 years, West Motor Company has been helping Cache Valley drive home in a vehicle they love. And around here, people know Ford and Ram cost less in Preston. Right now, you could save over $10,000 off a brand new Ram heavy-duty Bighorn, or over $12,000 off Dodge Charger RT, and over $5,000 off Jeep Grand Cherokee. Say it with me. Ford and Ram cost less in Preston. Always have, always will. West Motor Company, 80 years strong and still driven to serve you.
This is my challenge to any mattress dealer in the country. Beat my price. I'm Ryan at My Mattress, and we have the best brands in the country, and we have the best prices in the country. Purple, Tempur-Pedic, Sealy Posturepedic, and Stearns & Foster. I challenge any mattress dealer in Logan, Utah, online or brick and mortar, anywhere in the country to take me up on my challenge. Beat my price. Come in today for the best prices in the country. Isn't it time to sleep exceptionally? Only at My Mattress.
It's the Full Court Press, weekday afternoons from 4 to 6 on Sports Talk Radio, 106.9 FM, 1390 AM, The Fan.
.106.9 FM, 1390 AM. It's the Full Court Press on The Fan. Eric Frandsen and Jason Walker. It's been a minute since we've done Pick 6. So before we roll out how we think things will go this weekend, we need to recap how things went the last time we played this game. It's been a minute, Jason.
Yeah, so the last time I did this was Halloween Eve. So like our lines involved things like World Series Game 6 and whatnot. I'll spare going through the entire roll because some of these games, people don't even remember half of these games, but it was a dramatic one where you were leading 3-1, and then I got the last two lines that I added up. Some San Diego State takeaways against Wyoming and combined points by Nemia Shiketa, combined a bunch of other stats. Nemia Shiketa against the 76ers. All the way back. And it came down to World Series Game 6 total runs. And I won on the tiebreaker. I took the under on 8.5, and it was a 3-1 game. So I ended up winning 4-3 on tiebreaker.
It's close, yeah.
That was very close. I was thinking I was going to lose. I thought I had no chance, and then suddenly I came back and won that one. So that means I get to choose who goes first. And Eric, I'll let you go first on this next set of Pick 6.
Okay. Utah State plays UTEP this Saturday.
They do.
There's going to be a little bit expanded role for Elijah Perryman. So assists by Elijah Perryman. I'm setting the line at 3.5.
I'll take the over.
I'm take the under. Then UNLV rushing yards against the Aggies on Saturday, setting the line at 185.5.
Over.
I'm take the under. And then Lowry Markkanen points versus Chicago. It'll be in Salt Lake City. Setting that his point total at 25.5.
Take the under.
I'll take the over.
All right, and then here are mine. So I've also got a line against UTEP. Although I've got this as a team stat for Utah State. How many 3-pointers will they make against UTEP? I set the line at 8.5.
I'm going to take the over.
All right. I'm going to take the under. And then combined margin of victory for Utah State men's basketball and women's basketball this Saturday. Doubleheader at the Spectrum. Men playing UTEP, women playing Omaha. The Aggies are expected to win both games by a comfortable margin. But combined margin of victory for both games, I set the over-under at 29.5. I'm
going to take the under.
I'm going to take the over. And then combined points by Utah State and UNLV, I just took the Vegas line. It was at 70.5 earlier this week, although it's down to 68.5. So we'll set it there. Combined points between the Aggies and Rebels this Saturday.
I'm going to take the under.
I'm going to take the over. And then tiebreaker, Thursday Night Football tonight. Drake May, total touchdowns responsible for, passing, rushing, receiving, returning. If for some reason he's in there.
Fumble recovery.
Yeah. 2.5. Over under 2.5.
I'm going to take the over.
All right, and that gives me the under. So that's pick 6 for this
I really
week.
wanted to take the over because he's my fantasy quarterback.
I've got him as a fantasy quarterback in another league. But yeah, we'll see how things go for my Patriots, who are in first place by 2 games in the AFC East. Can expand that lead at least temporarily before everyone else plays on Sunday. Did not expect the Patriots to be leading by 2 games in the AFC East this year.
Well, in conversation about Drake May maybe being considered in the MVP conversation.
Yeah, it seems that the Patriots may have accelerated their rebuild. The Empire is back. You all got your brief respite from the New England Patriots. We're back to terrorize you.
Yeah, good luck. Well, there's still a lot of football to be played.
Yeah, there is. Then I don't think they're going to win the Super Bowl. I don't think they're good enough, but they're 8-2. So I don't know what's going on. But I need a Patriots Packers Super Bowl before I die, just because my brother is a Packers fan. So we need to have that Super Bowl. It's technically already happened, and I think one of them happened in my lifetime. No, they've only faced each other once, and it happened either just before or just after I was born.
It's been a minute.
If you want to feel old, those of you who maybe remember when that Super Bowl happened, it may or may not have happened in my lifetime.
By the way, Utah Jazz do play tonight. They're taking on the Atlanta Hawks, and I believe we do have that here on the Fan later on tonight. As David Locke and the Utah Jazz Radio Network will have their pregame coverage starting at 6:50. Tip-off at 7 for the Jazz. See if they can have another offensive explosion. Set the tone. I mean, that's the highest point total for a team this season in the NBA when Utah scored 152 against the Indiana Pacers.
But the only way they can
Tuesday.
beat anybody is by scoring that many points.
Yeah, defense. It looked like they were committed to playing defense early in the season, but it only lasted for like 2 games.
Yeah, basically. So once Walker Kessler was gone, that kind of shot everything. So Sam Merrill in action right now, where the Cavaliers are taking on the Raptors. They're losing 52-42, excuse me. Sam Merrill started the game. He's back from a brief injury he had, but he's got 3 points for the Cavaliers in 7 minutes. So we'll see if he's able to continue to. He had kind of a stinker of a night the other night. I think
he great start. Then he kind of cooled off a bit, but still trying to be a big contributor for the Cavaliers off the bench.
Yeah, he was like 1 of 10 the other night. So he'll, I think it was just last night. So trying to recover from that and continue to be one of the better 3-point aces in the NBA.
Reminder, tune your station, your radio dial to 104.5 The Ranch this evening as Ridgeline is taking on Provo. Pregame is already underway. Kickoff scheduled for 6 o'clock. Dave Simmons and Lance Campbell on the call. Also details on how to listen on CashValleyDaily.com. Tomorrow, it'll be Green Canyon versus Crimson Cliffs. That'll be in the 100.9 Light FM. Same schedule for a 5:50 pregame and 6 o'clock kickoff for Green Canyon. Have a great night, everybody.
Sports Talk Radio, KLGN Logan, 106.9 FM, 1390 AM, and online at 1069thefan.com.